So good evening, everybody. You're welcome to today's Trading Pros market forecast for the 13th of August 2024. This is brought to you by Trading Pro. Trading Pro is an international multi-award financial service provider. You can see we're marking 8 years anniversary. You could take out your time to find out how you could be part of this by going to the site and participating. So without taking so much of our time, let's get down to economic calendar. So tomorrow being the 13th, we have some high impact news coming in. Tomorrow is going to be very interesting. We have claimant count for the pound at 7 a.m. We have 130 core PPI and PPI for the dollar index. So as we've already seen, we're going to start off with the EURGBP US 100 dollar index, Euro USD, GBPUSD, gold, pound yen, and euro yen. So we're going to start off with the EURGBP. The EURGBP is still showing weakness. It's still showing weakness, but the possibility exists if we look at the way the daily candle is closing. It's trying to close bullish. The possibility exists that this may buy to sell. What do I mean by buy to sell? Either of these highs might be swept tomorrow with a little deeper move into this fair value gap, then a continuation to the downside on this pair, as we have a breaker on the 4-hour time frame in play. We have a breaker on the 4-hour. Let me even go to the daily. It's clearer on the daily. Price swept this high and didn't close above, and this was the way price closed. So the possibility is that we might see a steep retracement to sweep any of this upside before continuing to the downside. So the next we're going to be looking at is US 100. The US 100 still bearish, but the possibility is that we might still see a deeper correction on this pair. The possibility is that we might still see a higher move on this pair before a continuation to the downside. That means price may try to close this fair value gap on the daily before continuing back to the downside. So we need to be aware of that on this pair. This pair bearish, but we might still see a slight upper move before a continuation to the downside. Next pair is the dollar index. The dollar index is I believe this pair will still rally, but it's still going to sweep because this low didn't break this high. It didn't close above. So on the 4-hour, the possibility is that these lows may be swept before price continues to the upside. So that's what we might be seeing going into tomorrow. Lower move before a continuation to the upside. The next pair we're going to be looking at is the Euro USD. Just like I said, this pair might rally first before continuing. We'll be watching 1.0948 for a rejection and then a possible move to the downside. Because this pair, the possibility is that I might sweep 0945, 1.0945. If it closes above it, then it would continue to the upside. But we should be aware of this level I pointed out here. So that's what we'll be watching. And this pair might still move to the downside. So the next pair is the pound GBPUSD. This pair might still rally, but overall, it's still bearish. This pair might still rally, but overall, it's still bearish. As long as it stays below 1.2845, any rally on this pair might be an opportunity for a short. So we need to be aware of that. This pair might still drop. But the deal is that if the EURGBP should correct higher, this will retrace to probably into this fair value gap. As you can see, we have a breaker here, a bullish breaker on the 4-hour. So since price is not making new highs, it might just drop into here before a continuation to the upside. So the next we're going to be looking at is gold. Just like I pointed out on Saturday, if you care to listen to what I said on gold, let's go to see what I said on gold. So we're going to be looking at is gold. Looking at gold now, there is a range candle here that's on this particular broker. This high, this low. and see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It just managed to poke above it. So if this retraces, the possibility is that it might retrace and continue to the upside. As one thing with gold is that when gold is looking at ranges, it can break. If it breaks in either direction, like this range on this 4 hour is 619 pips. So if price breaks to the upside of this range, most likely you're going to see price come up to 24.55. And as you can see, as you can see, price has cleared 24.55. It has, so if the range is to actually move up, you're going to see price get up to 24.86. And price is not showing any signs of moving back. So as you can see, price just tested the top of the range and continued, which means that they have a target. So for tomorrow, just like I advised some of you today, don't sell this pair. Don't try it. Its intention is to sweep these levels before CPI.
Hello, sir.
Ma? Just wait. When I finish, you
Hello,
can ask
sir.
your questions. Just wait. When I finish, you can ask your questions. So for this pair, it's still going to continue to the upside. Don't try to sell it yet. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the pound yen. The pound yen, also, this pair might still
There's
reach.
also
This pair might still rally up.
okay, okay.
This pair might still rally up before a continuation to the downside. All these fair value gaps, it will try to fill it. Although we have what looks like a rejection on the daily, what that points is that we might see a sell to buy. So you'll be watching 186.48 to 188.42 to 186.48. So you pick the range midpoint between this level and watch for price to retrace there. This will continue bullish as long as it stays above 186.48. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the Euro Yen. The same thing too with the pound yen. Although, as you can see, this is what I call a three candle formation. So you might see a little weakness and a continuation to the upside. So for these pairs, what you'll be waiting for is as long as it stays above 158.81. What do I mean by that? There must be no body close below it. So as you can see, it poked above, so it might just sweep, maybe come down to this area before moving back up to the upside. So you wanted to ask a question, Madam Ejuru. Can I have your question before we call it the night? Hello? Hello? Okay, in the absence of any question, I thank everybody for taking your time to attend. So to have a
Hello,
beauty. Yes, ma.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
Hello,
I can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
hello, sir.
I can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
I was talking about gold. There's a range on the daily. There's a range on the daily.
On a daily.
That's what I'm saying now. I said there's a range on the daily.
One,
What
two,
do you
three.
think of it?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4. The candle is 4.
It
Supposed to
just
be
broke
5.
above the daily range.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it broke above the daily range. It has to close above it. If it closes above it, that brings in a whole new dimension to the equation.
Yes.
If it
So
closes above this daily range, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Minimum 4. If it closes above this daily range and you have a bigger target on this pair, you pick this low to this point. That is 500, 954 pips. If you extend it, This shows you where price is going to go to tomorrow. First, it's going to sweep here, then 25.08, then 25.54. But if it closes like this, the possibility exists that you might see a retest of this top. That's what it's going to do. So the question is, which is it going to do first? Is it going to sweep these highs and come and test this, or will it retrace first? If it retraces first, then it's going to sweep these highs. So that's what we need to be aware of. Since there's a range on the daily, well, that changes the scenario. So we need to see what it will do. So this pair is still bullish. Don't try to sell it yet. Don't try to sell it. You will not like the outcome. So good night, everybody. Thank you all for coming. I wish everybody a beautiful night's sleep and a lovely trading day ahead. Good
Good night,
night.
sir.